Hello viewers, it's me, Duncan, back with another video here on ESC-DN. And well, it's about time for me to share who are my potential winners before the rehearsals of this year's Eurovision Song Contest, which is technically the first time that I have done something like this in my life. Yes, this is the first time I am doing some other stuff, of course, aside from my potential qualifiers video that's already being released. But this video will focus on my potential winners, with my own thoughts on what it would do with the performance and something like that. But yeah, and also, of course, as you can tell by the thumbnail, Israel would definitely be included in this, despite the fact that the song is impressive for its part. Any political development with this song does not involve here. No political stuff and no controversial stuff. So this is fair and honest. So I just wanted to say it objectively. So with that mattered, I have 8 potential winners that I have to say right here. So with that out of the way, let's get things started from what I have ranked from my top 35. So let's get started from the top part. So we're gonna start things off with Finland. Finland being represented by the duo of Linda Lampenius and Peter Pakonen with the song Leikin Heitin. Already, the song indeed is absolutely a winner itself, especially the fact that the performance and the song is absolutely beautiful, judging by how much the fact viewers has to view the performance or the music video from UMK's YouTube channel. And despite the fact that it had received the most votes in UMK history, presumably, I guess, well, needless to say, this was already a winner in the hands. And I really love the performance, which is impressive, but I don't think if that would have a little impact on the Eurovision Song Contest thing, since they said that the performance will remain intact in the Eurovision Song Contest. Of course, there'll be a couple of modifications of sorts, but we'll find out eventually. And what you notice on the top left corner is my potential winning percentage, which is the potential chance of winning from each country. So for me, I might say they will have a 20% chance of winning. So yeah, we'll get to that eventually. So for Finland, this is indeed a winner. Up next is Sweden with Felicia with the song My System, which won the Festivalin. Now, before you should ask me, well, indeed the song is impressive because of how impressive it is, but the performance did literally slay it. Yes, the performance, of course, at Festivalin, which indeed was impressive, especially at how flashy it is, and of course, despite the fact that it received the most votes both from the viewers and the juries. Well, needless to say, this is also already a sweep, and especially for the fact that they will have a couple of changes. Of course, Felicia would brought 4 dancers from Melody Festivalen, of course, and a couple of changes to her performance as well, which is pretty much. But to me, I think this would have another great result for Sweden, since Sweden has been around in the top 10 for at least a while, but at least since I think 2022 I think it is. And yeah, I think this would be a great result for, of course, Sweden, but hopefully there's that. So yeah, my potential winning percentage or chance of winning would be 17.5%, but I don't know, that depends, so let's see. Up next is, of course, Akilas with Ferto representing Greece. The song is indeed a great one, especially with how impressive it is in terms of Euro Papa or Espresso Macchiato terms of style, but indeed was also doing well, especially his performance at Singing for Greece is also impressive. But of course, it would have a couple of changes. Of course, Akilas would bring in quote-unquote improved handset and other stuff. Of course, there will be a couple of things that I have to note on. Also, of course, the staging would also be improved on Akilas' hand, but we'll see about that. But for the meantime, this is basically what I can say for, Ferto, especially at how impressive the performance is. I'm still looking forward to what it would look like in the Eurovision stage. Indeed, the song is impressive, so you know what I mean. So for me, Akilas will have a 12.5% chance of winning for me. Up next is undoubtedly France. Presumably. Yes, of course, France, has a record for having one of the most beautiful entries in Eurovision, I think ever since 2020. I think 2020 is so beautiful. I think 2021 as well. 2024, 2025, 26. Also, 2022 is meh. 2023 is okay enough, but still. But needless to say that this year France is going to imitate JJ and his hands with the song Regard, which will be represented by American French singer, or in this case, an artist that also loves into operatic voices, Monroe. Yeah, of course. And yes, the song is also impressive, though, also how impressive it is, but the staging is yet to be identified as well. Well, we'll get to that very soon. So, especially on the perspective, the song is impressive, but I don't think if this would have another chance of winning an operatic song at the Eurovision Song Contest. I don't know what's wrong, but I can't say enough. But we don't know yet. So for now, I gave Monroe a 10% chance of winning. So we'll get to that eventually. And up next is Denmark with Søren Toppergaard Lund with Fargeheim. Indeed, the song is okay, but really great. But his performance at Dance Melody Grand Prix has changed it, especially how impressive it is. Box thing, the dancers, and everything else. The choreography is impressive. I really love it. And we'll see if things would have improved over on the Eurovision side of things, especially the fact that the F word has been removed from the context of the lyrics, which was the only modification. But at least we have another top finish for Denmark in a while now, so we can't wait for that. So for me, I gave 12.5% chance of winning for Denmark. Looking forward to what Denmark has brought us to the Eurovision stage, especially on how someone will look out. Up next, and surprisingly, is Australia. Now, Australia has a record for having one of the interesting Eurovision choices, though. They have been the Eurovision scene for over a decade. Guy Sebastian, Dami Im, and of course. But they have been through a couple of finals, only missing out in 2021, 2024, and last year, which is not so great. But this year, look at this. Well, we have an established artist. Thankfully for us, that's a good drum, who has been known for various pop songs in her time, and now she's going to bring a very amazing ballad that is Eclipse. Her performance, of course, and from what I can tell in the Nordic Eurovision Party performance is alright though, but at least she did the, piano thing, but hopefully she brings the piano to the Eurovision stage, because we already saw one with Duncan Nichols. But we'll see what her performance would look like, because I think we're going to have a similar performance to that of Duncan, but we'll see, except for the light thing. For this case, we have a sun or eclipse, but we'll find out eventually, because I can't really see what her performance would look like. So for now, 10% chance of winning. And second to the last is Ukraine with Lalaka Rytm. So, of course, Ukraine has one of the most beautiful songs in the Eurovision Song Contest, at least for this year now. So, and they have retained their record for being present in all semi-finals, all finals that they have been since they debuted in the Eurovision stage for over 2 decades. Thankfully for them, that was a lot, but I'm so proud that Ukraine's still going strong at the Eurovision scene despite the ongoing war with Russia. So, and yeah, Whitney's so beautiful that I had to give it itself, especially the amazing fact that Ukraine has a lot of history at the Eurovision Song Contest. Especially with the songs that we have now are basically centered around peace and unity, and but now with them, it is so impressive that I have to praise the performance, which is just impressive, and also the Lelaka's voice, and of course everything else. So for the meantime, I gave Rytm a 7.5% chance of winning. We'll see the performance in the Eurovision stage and when we saw the rehearsals, but we'll see about that. And undoubtedly and controversially, last but not the least, is Israel. Yep, Israel. Now already, Israel has been through a major couple of developments, and ever since they finished third in 2023 and the Gaza war, well, Israel has been through 2 ballots. Not so weirdly ballots or something like that. Eden Golan and Yuval Raphael with Hurricane and right? Hurricane, yes, and New Day will rise. And Hurricane, I think, finished in top 10. And the top 10, I don't know, I can't remember. But from what I can tell, Uvalus' New Day will rise finished second in the most shocking result yet in the Eurovision Song Contest last year. But JJ has avoided that, so we're so glad that we're going to have a very interesting winner. But the controversy surrounding it has made it too late. But now we're reversing that course, as Michelle, sang by Noam Betan, reverses that. It is a mix of a pop and a little rhythmic, some sorts. It's a mix of pop and a ballad, which is impressive. Some sorts. The lyrics are right enough, but I have to praise on how impressive Noam it is, especially at how impressive the production of this song is. But its performance at the Eurovision Song Contest, we don't know yet. But for the meantime, especially at how impressive it is, and despite their result last year, I highly doubt that I should give it a higher chance of winning rating for me. So 18.75% for now. That would eventually change in the next couple of, ish stuff, I think. But we don't know. We can't know yet, because we'll get to that eventually. So yeah, and that was the most controversial thing yet, but we don't know yet. So that's my potential winners. We'll recap again. Finland, Sweden, Greece, France, Denmark, Australia, Ukraine, and Israel. So you know what I mean. So with that mattered, that's it for this very quick, very interesting video here. I know it's a little quick than I might expect, but I have to showcase what would be my potential winners of the Eurovision Song Contest before the rehearsals. That would all change once we get through the next couple of days, especially the rehearsal. So for the meantime, that's it for this in-depth analysis on what would be my potential winners of the Eurovision Song Contest this year. More videos regarding the Eurovision Song Contest will be underway, and for the meantime, I guess I should sign off here. So with that mattered, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell, and check out my socials on my link tree. My name is Duncan Nichols. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll always be united by music.